Are you ready? Stand by.
Welcome to the 3-Gun Show, your source for technique, strategy, and match recon, brought to you by Armalite Rifles, LAG Tactical, and Breda Shotguns. I'm your host, Dave Hartman. This edition of the 3-Gun Show is a match recon podcast of the 2017 Nordic Vortex Tri-Gun. All right, I'm with Christy Hiring of Aguila Ammunition. Christy, welcome to the show, and we're here to talk about the Aguila Cup that is happening June 14th through the 17th in Decatur, Texas. This is a big event. It's sporting clays, 5-stand, feet task, rimfire, and 3-gun all in one place. That's a lot of shooting sports to pack into one range. Where's the match going to be at?
Yeah, we're going to hold this at Fossil Point Sporting Grounds in Decatur. It's a beautiful facility. They have 480 acres, gorgeous views, and they are able to hold all the guests and shooters we want to have, all the events. Wonderful clubhouse. I think people are going to come out there and really love being out there at their facility. Extremely nice.
And so this is not just a shooting event. After the shooting's over for the day, it sounds like there's going to be more family-friendly events afterwards as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So even during the day while you're out there, if you're taking a break from shooting, we're going to have a big vendor row area, Aguila merchandise available, and we're going to have a chill zone too. So if you just need a break from shooting, you just want to have a cold water or soda, and we'll have some games, a cornhole available, ladder ball. You just take a break from all the shooting, go chill out a little bit in our chill zone, and then get back to the shooting. Then on that Saturday night, at our host hotel at the Embassy Suites in Denton, Texas, we are going to hold a Texas-sized dinner and a concert with Texas singer Wade Bowen. So tickets for all shooters, they're $65. If you are a rimfire and 3-gun shooter, your entry fee is $60, and then another $65 that will cover the concert and the dinner. And also, if you are bringing family and friends out there, you can purchase tickets for your family and friends that are attending with you.
I like it. All right, so this is June 14th to the 17th, Decatur, Texas. And for more information, go check out shootaguilacup.com. That's AGUILA. Christy, thanks for being here.
Thanks so much.
This podcast is brought to you by LAG Tactical. I've been using LAG gear for 3 years now, and I just got an upgrade into their new for 2018 MCS mag pouches. MCS stands for Modular Carry System and is a 2-piece design that fits most double-stack 9 and 40 mags and most AR mags. That means I can loan gear to someone in need on the range, even if we're shooting different guns. I've been using these pouches for many matches now, and they've been great. I like that you can choose the retention based on what is required by the stage, Speed Demon or locked in tight. I've been shooting the low-cut Supernova holster as well, and it has been a dream. They make it in a mid and high cut too if you're into that, but I'm digging the low cut, super fast draws, and plenty of retention when you need it. Check them out, lagtactical.com, and use code 3GS in all caps to save yourself 10% when placing an order. Thank you for tuning in to the 3-Gun Show podcast. I know that I say this every week, but so much has been going on in the 3-Gun Show world this last week. It's just been awesome. First, some of you have reached out to let me know that only 20 episodes are available to download in iTunes, which means you're missing out on about 170 podcasts. Well, I finally figured out where the glitch in the Matrix was, and you can once again listen to the entire back catalog of the 3-Gun Show, which is almost 200 episodes now. Second, I got my Breda B12IS in from Hayes Custom Guns a couple weeks ago. The dudes at Dissonant Arms hooked me up with a Briley extension tube, which brings the capacity to 12, which is pretty standard for TAC ops. And I'm incredibly impressed with how well that combo handles. There are a couple pictures of the shotgun on the 3-Gun Show Instagram and the Facebook page that you can check out, and there's going to be plenty more to come as well. I only have one range practice session on this little guy since I'm training up with a pump shotgun for the Colorado 3-Gun Championship. But about 150 rounds, tons of loading, tons of shooting, plate racks, knockdowns, stuff like that. So far, I'm really digging it. I also got the opportunity to lend it to a junior shooter at last Saturday's club match. And so, yeah, the very first time it's shot in a match was not by me. And not only did he seem to really like shooting it, he was also able to get his shoot his first ever slugs. And he went 1 for 1 on 3 targets at about 55 to 78 yards. So that was really cool. Max, I hope you enjoyed that if you're listening. More to come on the shotgun in the future, but so far I'm really digging the gear change up. Now on to the show. The Nordic Vortex Tri-Gun is a storied match that was started by DPMS, and through some political difficulties at their original range, turned into a shotgun-only match. That carried on for a number of years and spread the shotgun culture throughout the practical shooters of Minnesota. The Tri-Gun has been resurrected and is running wide open now. So if you're preparing for this year's match, which is coming up soon, or you just love a good story from the range, you'll love this Match Recon. These are the types of podcasts that you will hear real time as a supporter of the 3-Gun Show on Patreon. So sign up today, patreon.com/3gun show. That's Patreon, and enjoy this Match Recon of the 2017 Nordic Vortex Tri-Gun. Welcome to the 3-Gun Show. I'm your host, Dave Hartman, and this is a special Match Recon episode brought to you by the good folks at Armalite. And here with me today is Wade Jones. Wade, how you doing, man?
Always a pleasure, Dave. How are you?
I don't know why I always laugh when you say that. I'm doing great, though. We're here to talk some Match Recon, and we haven't done one of these in a while. I did a bunch of these with Adam Maxwell when I was in Minnesota, and we were going to do this one, but I wanted to tell you about it because this is the 2017 Nordic Vortex Tri-Gun that's in Minnesota. So right. I think giving the perspective to someone who wasn't there is kind of important, and it helps me explain all the good stuff better and everything like that.
I'm ready, and I'm not jealous that you let somebody else do these things with
you.
I
totally did it without telling you too. I was like, oh, this is going to be weird. He's going to find out via podcast.
Gonna see it on social media
via RSS feed.
Yeah.
Find out your best friend's cheating on you on RSS.
Oh, that's terrible.
Well, a couple things I want to talk about before we get into the Match Recon. So this is real time for patrons, right? They're going to hear this one next in the queue, but this episode is going to come out 90 days later for people that are not patrons.
All right.
So what that means is if you're listening to this on the normal 3-Gun Show feed sometime in the future from when we're recording it, and you like this type of content, you can get it when it comes out real time by being a Patreon supporter. And you can do that at patreon.com/3gun show. And that is Patreon. And that's just for supporters of the 3-Gun Show, people who like the content and want to keep it going with their dollars. So sort of a
get in there, sign up.
What am I trying to say?
Sign up often.
Capitalist thing to do. Crowdsourcing.
It's the right thing to do.
It's what we all claim that we want to do, right?
Right.
Is support good content.
It's grassroots.
It is. It absolutely is. So second thing is I'm holding my Glock 34. And for people that are listening to this, sorry, can't see it because it's gorgeous.
There's pictures on Instagram if you want to look.
There's all kinds of pictures on Instagram. I'll put some in the show notes as well. And this Glock 34, the reason I'm holding it today is because, Wade, I know you like it a lot. And
I'm going to hold it right now.
It has been modified by Mod 1 Firearms in Kentucky. And Pike said, hey, Dave, your Glock looks like a stock Glock. Let me make it look pretty. And he sure did. So there's machined serrations in the front, which I really like. And that was the one thing I told him I wanted to do. And then please do something about the crappy trigger. He also did some lightning cuts on the slide. And then Cerakoted the whole thing sniper gray, which looks really gorgeous.
It's beautiful.
He cut off the finger. So mine's a Gen 4. He cut off the front finger grooves and then did a full stipple job on it. And like the high undercut under the trigger, the double undercut for both fingers. He fixed my trigger, which I spent like a ton of money on and still felt like a crappy trigger. This one actually feels pretty decent for a Glock. Mm-hmm. And then he took my brass Terran Tactical magwell and painted that sniper gray too, so it matches the slide. It's a really gorgeous pistol, but the reason that I'm bringing this up is not just to brag because I have the coolest Glock in the house, but this match, the Minnesota Tri-Gun, was the first match that I shot it at.
Oh.
Yeah.
This was the first. So you'd only shot it in practice before this?
No, I shot it before the match.
Oh, really? Like right before?
I went to the zero range and I was like, pew, pew, pew. Okay, it works.
Seems good enough.
Yeah, so all the things that you hear my guests to say never do in a match, I totally do all the time, unfortunately. I swap parts. I go with ammo that's untested. And
brand new gun. You know,
brand new gun, yeah. And one of the things was this gun here. Just figuring out the logistics of sending this gun across the country and getting it back. Pike did a bang-up job on it, and I'm just over the moon happy with it. It's pretty cool. But the cool thing is, one of these stages that I shot at the Minnesota Tri-Gun during the RO shoot, it was raining quite a bit, and it was a table pickup. So you had all your magazines and your pistol on a table. You had no belts or pouches. So the idea was, so the Minnesota Tri-Gun, for a little bit of background, is put on by 3 police officers. So this was kind of like you're caught by an interrogator and you got to fight your way out kind of thing.
Battlefield pickup.
Yeah, pretty much. So you start out shooting an MP5, which we'll get into in a minute here, and then you have a stick and you knock over a bunch of dummies, and then you go pick up your gun and then engage the rest of the targets. So, of course, when we get over there, the gun's sitting on a wet table, with standing water in it. All my magazines are wet. But this stipple job, man, I was really excited to have it during that particular stage because it didn't feel like it was slippery like a normal Glock is or anything.
Right.
I was pretty pumped.
Good deal.
Yeah, thumbs up. So thumbs up on that. And again, for you people that are listening and not here in the room with us, which is most of you,
nearly all of you,
except for Wade. I'll put pictures of it on the show notes at threegunshow.com. So just check those out. And thumbs up. And thanks, Pike, for making this an awesome pistol.
Yeah, me next, Pike.
All right, so let's move on. I think that's all I got to talk about.
All right, let's get going on this.
Yeah, let's do it. So, okay, wait. I shot. It's my first match I shot in Minnesota. I was pretty pumped about because I've got a lot of listeners in Minnesota. Mm-hmm. It's a really vibrant practical shooting community. I have a lot of friends that are from there.
Right.
So I was really looking forward to this match. So this is the storied 2017 Nordic Vortex Tri-Gun presented by the Minnesota 3-Gun Group. And it was held June 24th and 25th at the Forest Lake Sportsmen's Club in Forest Lake, Minnesota. It was a time plus penalties points match. And the rule set was the Tri-Gun match rules, which were actually physically printed out and given to each competitor, as well as emailed out 2 weeks before the match. Yeah, and it's on their website as well.
So you got a nice little booklet there.
I do. This is great, and this really helped me with the Match Recon, by the way. It was a 3-day format, 4 stages the first day, 3 stages second day, 2 stages third day, and I shot the entire match with the ROs in 1 day. Oh. Minus 1 stage. We did this in 2 days. Minus 1 stage, which I had to complete on Sunday because I had other obligations as well. There were 234 shooters. 221 finished the match. Divisions were heavy limited, and the winner in that was Jomar Villamore, who is one of the Minnesota 3-Gun Group, one of the 3.
Okay.
So he won his own match.
All right.
There were 9 people in that division. Heavy Optic, Jay Carrillo won. 10 people in that division. Interesting that they have 2 heavy divisions.
I was going to say.
Usually there's not enough participation to have 2 divisions. And if they combine that, obviously they'd have, 19. But interesting that there were 2 of them. So open division, Josh Freilich, who also won the overall in the match. 22 people in that division. TAC Limited the winner was Nathan Payne.
Okay.
37 people in that division. And Tactical Optics, Jake Latola with 156 people in that division. So, couple things I need to get out of TAC Optics.
Yeah, no kidding. No kidding.
And two, so Jay Carrillo is an Illinois guy.
All right.
Everyone else in that list right there is from Minnesota.
Oh, all the locals.
So, yeah, all the locals. So this was a, hey, everybody, come over to our house and play with us, and we'll just slaughter you.
Oh, I'm not really good at this game that I invented.
Yeah.
What? So, heavy limited and optic, is it similar to TAC limited and TAC optics as far as classes exactly?
Yeah, it's so, and I didn't look through the division rules on those two, mostly because I wasn't in those divisions. But the most noticeable difference was that there was 1x optic on limited and magnified on the TAC.
Makes sense.
Yeah. So congratulations to all those people who invited us up to shoot with them and then whooped our butts. Other opportunities, there were 2 to 3 shotgun side matches.
2 to 3 of them.
Yes. I can recall at least 2, and there was possibly a third one. So I didn't shoot any of them, unfortunately. I had other stuff to do. But when I say other stuff to do, I guess I should explain what I did. So I did recorded videos of people shooting the stages, and then interviewed them afterwards of like their impression of how they shot and what they do better next time, etc. And some of them were actually kind of funny. It was pretty good. But those are on YouTube, so you can check those out. 3gunshow.com/YouTube if you're interested in that. Some pretty good ones with people you will recognize, and some that were even listed in the winners there. So
you didn't really get any idea what the side matches were about, or?
Well, so I saw them, and they were shotgun side matches.
Okay.
Because you can pretty much set a shotgun side match up in a lot of places with no berm,
Well, and this is Minnesota too, right?
Yeah, and the we'll get to that in the club here. It's very shotgun heavy as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I think one was set up somewhere down in like the 5 stand area or something like that. I didn't see that one, but there was one between the trap area, which is where people also camped, and the comp bays, and that just looked like a real quick speed shoot type thing.
Gotcha.
Yep.
All right. So what was the match flavor?
The match flavor is very Minnesota. So I'm fortunate enough to know a lot of people from this area, and was able to talk to them beforehand. Mm-hmm. And kind of get an idea for what the flavor is. And this is it's kind of fun to be a part of the. It's not kind of. I shouldn't have qualified it that way. Yeah. It's really fun to be a part of this community and to get to chat with people from all over the country, because I had Adam Maxwell and Chris Sazin on the podcast. Adam Maxwell runs matches with Hawkeye Ignite at this same club in Minnesota, Forest Lake Sportsman's Club.
This is his home range.
It's his home range for sure. Yeah, he knows every nook and cranny in there.
I bet he does.
Yes, he does. That's son of a gun. I'll tell you a fun story about Adam once I get done with this fun story about Adam. But the other guy, Chris Sazin, he's number 2 in the Minnesota 3-gun group. Okay. So he's 2 of the 3 dudes. Also Minnesota police officer, and
the third being the guy that shot heavy, right?
Jomar. Yeah, that was the one I
Yeah.
mentioned.
Yeah.
And then Jay Schneider, I think his last name is. So anyway, when I had sorry about that.
Yeah, thanks, buddy.
Just tossed your phone. Just grab my matchbook. Jay Schmidt. Sorry, Jay. Yeah. Jay Schmidt. So when I had Sazin on the podcast and Adam, they were telling me the story of 3-gun in Minnesota. So it started out as the Tri-Gun that was put on by DPMS, Randy Luth over there. Okay. Mm-hmm. Put on this huge match, and it was big extravaganza. The range that was at, which is actually, I think it's called like the Luth Range or something like that.
Oh,
But anyway, so they had one of those instances where someone from a house behind the range brings in a 9mm cartridge and says, I found this in my child's sandbox.
Oh, jeez.
And I did say cartridge. I didn't say bullet. But the so the range could no longer have practical shooting, etc. They had all these restrictions put in where they had to shoot through barrels instead of wide open, so you couldn't, have your angle of fire high enough to leave the range.
Oh, so they had to really confine everything.
Yeah. However, they could shoot shotgun, and they could shoot a lot of shotgun.
Okay.
So the culture in Minnesota for a long time was forced shotgun, which I like to call them the North American Great Britain, because if you see a lot of those shotgunners in the UK, like, they're freaking phenomenal, practical shotgun shooters. Because somewhere along the line, UK hasn't figured out that shotguns look scary too when you shoot them really fast.
Right.
But their shotguns are sporting, so they get to shoot those, but they can't own any center fire guns, right?
Right.
So that's how Minnesota was for a long time. So with the then they had I guess it was the Nordic shotgun match or Benelli shotgun match. I don't even remember. It was the Minnesota shotgun match at this club. A lot of different places to shoot shotgun. And so that was kind of their thing for a long time. Mm-hmm. This club, Forest Lake Sportsmen's Club, had some tactical bays built. They call them tac bays or comp bays.
Okay.
It's tactical bays when the police are using them.
Right.
So, and the police use the heck out of them. Holy cow. This is a very vibrant club. A lot of use at this club. So anyway, they built some comp bays, then they built some more comp bays that we'll get to in a minute here, and now they can have a 3-gun match. So they resurrected the Tri-Gun, and that's where this came from.
Okay.
But their heritage of being heavy shotgunners stands true.
Yeah, that's what I hear. I hear that a lot.
Yeah,
sure.
And they did not disappoint. They had there's a lot of shotgun targets. They're difficult shotgun targets by their presentation, hiding them behind trees and stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
Far away targets, and then their pipes that they were shooting were freaking heavy.
Pipes that you
pipes. So you're shooting like a pipe, and I want to say that these were like 5-inch diameter pipes, maybe 6.
Okay.
I don't know, this is a couple months ago. 6-inch diameter pipes, and so the wall thickness is probably like 3/8.
Okay.
So they're friggin' heavy, and they're like 14-inch sections.
Okay.
So it takes a lot of pattern to knock them over, but it's also curved, so a lot of that pattern gets dispersed when you shoot them. So it has like a small real presentation area.
Huh.
So you have to choke wisely.
Yeah, I'll bet.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Was there a lot of slug targets or no?
There was some slug targets. There was, I would say more than 3, less than 6.
We'll say 5.
We'll say 3. It was probably 3. Yeah, so there was some slug targets. The slug targets weren't too difficult as far as distance-wise, which I like, because faraway slugs, in my opinion, are just kind of dumb because they're it's the wrong tool for the job at that point.
Right.
But the I like difficult, achievable slug targets. Like they had BC zones that were probably like 40, 50 yards away in some cases, but it was a partial presentation because it was obscured by a barrel. And then they made you lean out because there was a wall you're shooting from behind.
Oh, okay.
And so that's a difficult shot, but it's not difficult because it's stupid far away.
Right.
So I think that is a more creative use of a slug target.
So the pipes, they're just like standing up on end, like a popper
just
kind
like
of thing?
just like a they're on like a little platform,
Uh-huh.
like a little post that you hammer into the ground. Then it's got like a flat piece of steel that it sits on. Then the pipe sits on top.
Okay.
So kind of like a knockdown target would be.
Like the cowboy action guys shoot at the little chickens and birdies and stuff.
Yes, just like that.
But just pipes.
Because it's probably like dirt cheap.
Yeah,
it
makes good sense. I've just never seen that. So
yeah. We have some of them here in Colorado at a couple ranges. Weld County Fish and Wildlife has them. CRC has them. Colorado Rifle Club. Ours are a lot skinnier diameter because they're they appear to be like previously used fence post type stuff.
Oh, gotcha. Mm-hmm.
So they're skinnier diameter, but a lot lighter.
Mm-hmm.
But these ones in Minnesota were friggin' heavy. So you got to know. And I wouldn't have known that if I hadn't like reset a target before.
Right.
Because I went over and picked it up. I was like, whoa, shit. I better respect this
Might
one.
have to hit this one high and tight.
Exactly. So yeah, that I would say is the match flavor. The accuracy, the key, unusual positions, even if you're standing in the middle of a bay. So
Okay,
that's
so
what I'm going with.
So speaking of bays, what was the terrain like?
So this is 7 bay stages. 2 of those stages are on what appear to be a white sand beach in the middle of Minnesota.
It's nice.
Yeah, it was lovely. Don't set your shotgun down
Yeah,
anywhere.
I was gonna say, great getting it out of your shoes.
Exactly. Yeah, and your guns and your mags. 3 of those bay stages were multiple bays.
So multiple bays in a single stage.
Am I? Yes, multiple bays in a single stage where you have to run from bay to bay to bay.
Okay.
Yeah. So there was a pistol bay. There was a pistol stage that I said you started with an MP5.
Uh-huh.
And then you start in one small bay, and it's like a 25-yard, 22 caliber rifle bay.
Okay.
And then you shoot that all the way at the back. You run out of that bay while you're shooting, or while you're knocking over these big dummies with a police beating stick.
Police beating stick.
I don't know what you would call it.
Baton.
There you go. It wasn't like the traditional baton that I think of. It was like it was literally looked like a weapon of opportunity.
Oh yeah, it's like one of those big rubber ones.
No, it was wood, but it had
Okay.
some knurling on it, which made me think someone put some thought into it.
Yeah. Some
Yeah,
hand carved.
something like your high school wood teacher would have, just because there's plausible deniability. He's a wood teacher, but if you get out of line, he's going to whack you with it.
It's just a table leg until it smacks you in the head. Then it's a baton.
Yeah. Okay, so it was a table leg. Yeah, and then anyway, so you run from there to the next bay, shoot a bunch of stuff, and then you run to the next bay and shoot a bunch more stuff. I think it was stage 9, which is called Meltdown, is a 2-bay stage where you start in one bay, and it was the slug targets I was telling you about, mixed with some far off bird shot that were like 5x5 knockdowns, like that I picked up off the prize table there.
Oh right.
Gunfighter targets, which are kind of fun.
Mm-hmm.
Then you go to the next bay, and the next bay is like a 270-degree bay.
Oh, cool.
So the next bay, the only part that's not a bay is the part that you get into it on.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a pretty unique layout, and we did shoot. We shot like 270 degrees in there.
Pretty wide on it.
Yeah. Well, we shot. Just say, as you run in the bay, you shoot to your left. You shot rifle, then you dump your rifle, then you shoot again as you're running into the bay, straight forward with your pistol, and then to your right with pistol as well. So
cool.
Full array on that, which was it was a lot of fun. And the berms there are 2 stories tall.
Oh,
20 feet tall.
Wow.
They're huge.
I guess
They have
so.
to be because they're really close to the highway. But
I gotcha.
yeah, but that does give you a lot of different opportunities and options as far as stage design goes.
Sure.
So it was pretty cool. So that is the bay description, and then there were 2 natural terrain stages that were jungle runny type things.
Mm-hmm.
One was all shotgun, and it was very difficult for the ROs.
Oh yeah.
because they just went out and set everything in plants. And then by the end of the weekend,
you hadn't seen the paths, the swaths cut from the shot.
dude,
yet,
by the
right?
end of the weekend, it was like someone went in with one of those brush hogs and cleared the entire thing out. I'm not kidding. I went back through the last day because Adam was RO on that stage, and I was upset. It's like, this is a completely different stage.
Yeah.
Like, I had to like poke around for targets and to like look over stuff and look through stuff. and you didn't have to do that on the last day at all.
Yeah,
Like,
you guys
they
had
were
to do
all out in the open.
You guys had to do some target finding.
Yeah. So
Sure.
then another stage that was jungle running. You start jungle running with your shotgun, and then you end up with your rifle and or pistol at the end, and that. So it's kind of jungle run, and then you run into a bay,
Oh, okay.
which is kind of pretty cool because you get to the fun aspects of both.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're jungle running and you've got like rifle or pistol, you need a lot of run out on that jungle, and they don't have a lot of run out there. So now they've got you running into a bay, which is pretty unique use of their facility and their terrain.
It's pretty smart.
Yeah, it's cool.
I like that a lot. All right. So what were the main skills utilized?
So this is mostly a precision type match. There was not a lot of hoser stuff. There was just a couple.
No hosers in Minnesota?
No hosers? Oh, jeez. It's unintentional.
I'm sorry.
I apologize, northern friends.
That was a softball.
It really was. There's some arrays that were, stuffed real close together, but generally you would find like 4 or 5 targets that were really far away from you. Far away from you in like a traditional sense that you would see in 3-gun. So it would make you stop and respect the target and shoot it.
Okay.
And that was the same with pistol and the same with shotgun. With rifle, there was one long range stage that we'll get to in a minute here. And in the other places where there was not long range, they gave you smaller targets.
Okay.
And one example is clay targets hanging from a string.
Oh.
Which ate people's lunch.
Yeah.
Yeah, because when you do that at 25 yards, you got to worry about your offset. And then if you're shooting from under a casket like you were in one, then
casket?
Yeah, we'll get to that.
All right.
So now you're crunched. Your breathing apparatus is squishied because you're trying to get on your scope under the
technical
gasket.
term, squishy to breathing apparatus.
Yeah.
Okay.
You didn't know that?
Yep.
So then it's a 3-gun thing. But so clay targets you have to respect. There were opportunities to shoot sideways that weren't through small little holes. Usually when a match director wants you to shoot sideways, they will just put a sideways slat.
Yeah, I get a slat
to make you do it.
Have to lean it.
Yeah. But there were a couple opportunities to shoot sideways that were under things.
Okay.
Whereas if you're super flexible, like some of the ladies that we shoot with, like Lanny Barnes or Becky Ackley, then you could just squat down and
get like an ass to grass squat and then lean your head over. And...
or no, like knees on the ground with your butt on the ground.
Oh, okay. Oh, I got you.
Yeah. Whereas with me, like that's super uncomfortable and almost physically impossible the older I get. But I can do a one leg forward, sitting on another leg, leaning over, squatting down. If that doesn't work, I can just take one knee and lean over. So now my rifle's at 90 degrees. And if it's a generous target that's pretty close, then that's pretty easy option as well.
Doable.
Yeah. So then, let's see what else was there. Yeah, far pistol targets, shotgun targets are far, uncovered positions. Getting crammed inside small areas, we had to shoot inside pallets that were like stacked up.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like a little pallet fort?
Yeah, like a pallet fort. If you were 5 and you made it for your size.
Small pallet fort.
Exactly. Very small pallet fort. Designed by Jay Schmidt, who's really small. So
good job, Jay.
Yeah. Clearly it was not designed by Mr. Sazin, who's very tall. So getting crammed inside small areas, you had to load your shotgun inside that. So
that's fun.
I didn't have like a huge problem with that because you just get on your knees, but that was the beach stage. So now you're on your knees in all that sand, and then your gear's in there. Loading your shotgun while you're scrunched over like that is interesting. It's a new challenge that I hadn't done before. There are some very large people in this sport.
Sure.
And I don't think they had a good time on that stage.
Oh, but they didn't.
I mean, for me, it was just like an inconvenience and like, how am I going to maneuver this? And I'm not a small guy.
Right.
But for some people, it was one of those like, this is embarrassing.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Well, you know how you can when you're talking to someone, you can say, well, you can tell that they're not really complaining about the task at hand.
Mm-hmm.
They're complaining about how the task at hand makes them feel.
Right.
There were people that were openly complaining about that. I think it embarrassed them to get in there.
That's too bad.
I know, it's a bummer, but that was something we had to do. Also, it's like when you have to shoot from a car in 3-gun. They always pick like a Volkswagen Bug. They never have they never have anything big.
Yeah. Yeah. You're not in like my panel van.
Yeah.
You can just like stretch out.
Exactly.
All right. So what were the farthest shots then?
So farthest shots, this was pretty easy to range because the farthest shots had to be taken, in their rifle bay. Their rifle bay is very interesting. It's a piece of ground that they just completely cleared dirt from, and now it's a bay. So
they just dug it in?
Yes, so ground level is above your head, which means that it's Minnesota. There's a shitload of trees.
Yeah.
So all these trees are growing, starting above your head, which was kind of a cool feeling while you're in there.
Oh, yeah.
So no wind.
Oh, yeah. That's probably great.
Yeah, it's subterranean. There's no wind in the middle of all these trees.
Subterranean.
Yeah, exactly. So when Minnesotans get to Texas and they're like, why are my bullets not going when I'm aiming?
Why is this wind blowing in 4 directions at once?
Exactly. So it's in their rifle bay. When you shoot as like a normal member, you have to shoot through like a 6-foot tube.
Right.
And it's a 400, 300, and 200 yard berm. So from those benches, you count however many steps it takes you to get to the shooting position, subtract that from 400, and that's what it is. They happen to put the shooting position on this one at 25 yards inside the bay.
Oh, okay.
So you're shooting a 375, a 275, and a 175 yard target.
I got you. So then you guys didn't have to shoot through the tubes?
No.
Oh, okay, cool.
No, you get special permission as a match.
All right.
So we actually shot from a Ford Escort in one.
So it's like a tube.
Well, it was on top of the roof. So.
Oh, okay. You didn't have to be inside.
You didn't have to be inside.
You have to sit bitch in the middle of a Ford Escort with 2 other dudes.
So this was actually kind of cool because you start off the Escort and then you had to mount the Escort in some manner. So the first thing you did was you shot a target. It must have been an Uber, right? Because there was a driver and then there was someone sitting behind the driver.
You're in the back seat. Okay.
Yep. So you had to shoot those 2 targets.
Uber.
Yep. So whap, 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 and then now you jump on the hood or however you want to get there and shoot over the roof. You could lie on the roof if you wanted. Most people didn't choose to do that. Pretty easy target. It was a 16-inch target at 375 yards, so that's pretty generous.
Yeah.
So
plus with that pretty stable platform, look like if you're resting off the roof.
Yeah, well, it ate a lot of people's lunches. I don't think people respected it enough. What I did was I jammed the magwell up against, so the glass is gone, right? So you can put your legs through there if you want. I just got up. I just sat on it like side saddle kind of thing. Mm-hmm. My legs kind of hanging off the side, but my butt was on there, so I was kind of turned. And then I jammed the magwell up against the roof where the glass would normally meet the roof, and then set the handguard on top of the roof, and that worked out fine. First round hit on the 375.
I did see the video of your buddy that did the jump mount.
Martin Lucero. That's pretty sweet.
That seemed like a pretty good idea. It was fast. I didn't see him getting out of it, though.
He got out of it pretty fast, too. Yeah, but the...
got into it fast.
Got into it super fast. Mm-hmm. Like, it was pretty interesting. I wonder... I wish I had like video of him practicing that so many times because I only got video of him shooting it, but he practiced quite a bit. And again, youtube.com/3gunshow, or excuse me, other one, 3gunshow.com/YouTube. It gets very confusing when you're me.
The 3-Gun Show channel on YouTube. Yeah,
3-Gun Show channel on YouTube. So yeah, that was the position there. And then once you're done there, you run forward, you shoot like a bunch of paper targets, forcing a magazine change if you don't have a D60. And then re-engaging those 275 and 175 yard targets, now 75 yards closer.
Gotcha. So the D60 doesn't put you in a different class?
Depends on the match.
Oh, okay.
Excuse me. Most matches have decided that TAC Ops can have a D60, which seems quite ridiculous.
Yeah, it seems like a lot.
Yeah, because it's a drum mag, right? That belongs in open.
I think so.
Yeah, but now that I have a D60,
You're all for it.
I'm all for it. No, so I think I told you this right when I got that D60. So you'll hear in another Match Recon that I went to the Magpul Wyoming Governor's match and actually pulled a D60 off the prize table. Made myself pull a D60 off the prize table, but up until then, I was really against high round count rifle stages for the sake of high round count rifle stages.
Right.
If it makes sense, then yeah, I'm all for high round count rifle stages. But when you have a 40 round PMag plus a 5 round Terran tactical base, 45 rounds, or you have a 30 round PMag plus a old school Nordic components plus, I don't even remember what they were, 7, and then you throw that on your 40 rounder, now you have 47.
Right.
And then the matched designer has a D60, so he makes it 52 rounds.
Right.
That's what I hate.
Right.
It's like, if you just took out 3 paper targets on this, I would not have to buy a $130 magazine.
Right.
And, again, we're in TAC Ops. Why are we having drum mags?
Yeah.
So
silly.
that yeah, I think is probably silly. But, again, I have a D60 now, so I'm all for it. Bring it on. As soon as that D90 comes out and we start having those 77-round rifle stages, I guess I'm going to buy one of those too. I don't know if I'm supposed to mention that they're working on that.
All right, well, forget you heard that. How was the logistics?
So logistics seemed pretty good. I saw it from afar because I was with the ROs. We were just having a quick bite and running out. But there was quite the line when I was there, but it was the time of day where everyone arrives to go walk stages. Check in, get your shirt. You get a sweet match booklet, which I'm not big on match booklets, but this one is very useful. It was totally unnecessary at Forest Lake Sportsman's Club because they have good cell reception there, like 4G.
Oh, okay.
In most places. So you could theoretically do like a PDF.
Yeah.
That said, this is a good match booklet because it has all the rules in here. It has the stage descriptions, really well thought out. It has your squad matrix, which I'm always asking my squad mates, when do we shoot? Where are we supposed to go? Has a round count in here, which is cool.
Nice.
Map to the place, which I don't know why you'd need it after you already got there and got the match booklet, but
well,
and then it has all the sponsors in it, which is really cool. So, what was the question?
just logistics.
Logistics, yeah. So logistics looked pretty decent. The RO match was very disorganized.
So did you guys shoot? What day did you shoot?
We shot Wednesday and Thursday.
Okay.
And then the the main match was Friday, Saturday, Sunday. The RO match, we had no stage descriptions whatsoever.
Oh, really?
On any of the stages. So there was no opportunity to game anything because basically the person that designed the stage was telling you how to shoot it. And you're like, well, is this what you're going to tell other people?
Right.
Or are you telling me something different?
Right.
And then reading the stage descriptions, is completely different.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so they would tell us how they wanted to shoot it, how they intended to shoot it.
Right.
Not a stage description like you normally get, and then you decide as a shooter how I'm going to shoot it.
So they're saying, like, you got to engage this, this, and then do this, rather than you got to engage all these targets in whatever fashion you want. Right.
Yeah.
I got you.
And again, it was stage dependent and person dependent because there's many people that design the stages. But yeah, so that part was kind of a bummer. The the massive disorganization of the RO match kind of ruined a lot of the excitement for me. At the beginning of the day, all of the ROs were on one stage when there are 9 stages.
Yeah, why?
Exactly. But the And then I look at the, the match booklet, and it's got like a really good squad matrix, and it has the times you're supposed to be there. Mm-hmm. Everything seemed to run really smooth. I talked to a lot of the ROs, and they said that their stages ran smooth, and they didn't have like a lot of huge hiccups or hangups or anything. And then it was why not make a little bit more effort for the RO stage?
Yeah,
or the RO match.
Give me some info on the venue.
All right, so this venue is really cool. So this, if this venue were in Colorado, it would be the nicest range that we have here.
Yeah?
Yeah, just because the amount of public funds over the 50 years that it's been in existence,
okay,
and how it's utilized. And they have a, I don't know what you call him, range master, range director? Ron. They have a Ron.
They got a Ron?
Ron, and he really loves that range. You can tell by the care that he takes in everything he does. Mm-hmm. And also a really nice guy. So
it's like the president of the club or something, or?
Nah, he's an employee of the board of he's an employee of the club.
Okay.
So I don't know if you call him caretaker or what, but
he's the main man.
Yeah. So it's a membership club. He is not a member. He's in a paid position, from my understanding.
Okay.
So and if I'm wrong about that, these are the facts these are the facts that I have in my head, and my mind cannot be changed. Okay, so they have, like I said, they have rifle bays out to 400 yards, competition bays, and again, 20-foot berms, which is insane. Mm-hmm. 5-stand sporting clays, trap and skeet, 3D archery, and sand every friggin' where.
What's the deal with all the sand?
I don't know. Just over in the comp bays, like the ground that it's in, like it wasn't added sand, like it's pre-existing sand.
It's normal terrain sand, huh?
I guess.
I don't know much about Minnesota. I don't know if they're full of sand up there, I guess, huh? Sandy soil. Like clay out here, maybe.
I don't know, maybe.
Everything out here is clay and rock. Maybe out there it's sandy.
There's a lot of grass.
Grass loves sand.
Could be sand under the grass. Who knows?
Probably, yeah.
But their trap and skeet is like super vibrant. So I stayed on the range the entire time I was there. They had a couple RV plugins that I got kicked out of and then allowed back into. But another story. But the trap and skeet range are very well manicured. The trap houses and skeet houses are very well maintained.
Is that their bread and butter there, it looked like? Or?
It's also the closest to the parking lot. So I don't know.
That's always helpful, yeah.
There was not much that wasn't well maintained here. Mm-hmm. I'll tell you that. So except they could spray some Agent Orange and get rid of those flies for me. Other than that, it was great.
A lot of flies.
Oh my God, the mosquitoes were insane. But they have like a nice clubhouse that you would imagine. I don't know, look like a kind of like a cafeteria type thing from like a 1980s school or something, or 60s school.
Big open,
industrial tile,
sure.
And but that's where everyone goes in and registers, and then we just kind of hung out there at night. They have another clubhouse that they were in the process of refurbishing over by the competition bays, and that I think is just kind of like a instruction area. I think the
more of a classroom setting.
Classroom,
kind of thing?
Yeah, they called it the classroom, so that's probably what it was. So the police officers use that for their training and everything when they were over on the bays and stuff.
Makes sense.
Yeah, so the trap and the skeet, like every night that I was there was something going on. Whether it was youth or people shooting, or some sort of club. It reminded me of like a bowling league.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because they would have their trap and their skeet, and they'd be shooting and stuff, and then whenever I don't know what you call them, squad probably. Mm-hmm. Whenever the squad was done, they'd go back to their pickup trucks and sit on the bed and have a beer.
Oh yeah,
and chat about their shooting, and then they would go home.
All right, interesting.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. It was like it was definitely like a social club type of atmosphere. I liked it.
So yeah, it sounds like a nice place.
Yeah.
All right, tell me about the pre-communication.
Pre-communication was really good. They had an email that came out 2 weeks in advance with rules, round count, self-squatting info, squad matrix, stuff like that. And there was also almost the exact same stuff that was in the match booklet. Okay. So I should mention that the match booklet has no stage diagrams, which is good because stage diagrams never match
I gotcha.
The actual stage. So good stuff on the pre-communication. Pretty much had 0 questions after that other than when should I be there for the RO match.
Straightforward pre-com.
Yeah, totally. And very well done, by the way.
And staff.
So the staff, so I shot with the staff. There's definitely like 1 or 2 dudes that were a little overzealous about being ROs.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and maybe like
got a little bit in their head.
Well, maybe just like a little inexperienced.
Oh,
and so,
I got you.
Plus, they don't. I guess I was about to say they don't know me, but that's really no excuse because they don't know 200 other competitors.
Right.
But there was a lot of like, hey, don't do that kind of things, and from one particular RO in general, and it's like, dude, stop talking to me while I'm shooting.
Right.
Like, if you want to have a conversation, you shout stop, and then we will have a conversation.
Right.
So that part kind of bummed me out, but the most of the staff is really good. RO is really good, really nice people, had a lot of fun.
So, tell me about the fun factor, the Dave factor.
Yeah. So the stages were good. There, my favorite stage was stage 5. It was the Diamond Mine, and that had a lot of options that you could.
Diamond Mine.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was in the shape of a diamond, and I think calling it a baseball diamond is not cool, so they called it a diamond mine.
Okay.
It was in a bay. I don't know. Maybe you're mining for steel. I don't know. But
mining for diamonds, dude.
Mining for diamonds. So but the stage was in a shape of a diamond, and there was a different options the way you could shoot it. You could shoot paper with a rifle. You could shoot paper with pistol, and really change your stage plan in that way. There's a lot of steel targets that were knockdowns that you could shoot pistol or shotgun.
Okay.
So there was 1,000. Yeah. Yeah. And you know what's interesting is the top like 5 dudes that top 5 finishes on that stage probably shot it like 3 or 4 different ways.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And that's how close the different ways of doing it were. Mm-hmm. And so that's where the rivalry with Becky came out in this one.
Oh, yeah.
Because they were there with the 2A Heritage Junior Camp, right? And I was there the week before with the 2A Heritage Junior Camp. And we walked the stages with the juniors that were going to shoot the match. And they... Was that when we were shooting? I think that was when the ROs were shooting. So they were walking the stages. And Becky was watching my stage plan. And she's like, no, you got to shoot pistol, blah, blah, blah. You know how Becky does.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. But I thought that it was better. I know. Sorry. Sometimes I go overboard on that.
Dave's got the pulpit.
I know.
Nothing you can do, Becky, right now.
I know. Sometimes I go overboard. I apologize. That was rude. But so we were kind of going back and forth, and she was saying, this is a pistol, blah, blah, blah here. And I'm like, no way this is rifle, because I've got that little shorty Armalite 13.5, and I have big, strong arms, right?
Oh, yes, you do.
Yes, and everybody knows that. But no, I'm kidding. I just thought it was faster to run it with the rifle, especially a shorter rifle on that stage. And it surprised me that Becky did not want to run it with the rifle because she just came back from the IPSC World Shoot in Russia. Oh. And so she was saying, no, it's pistol. But Becky is also a very accomplished pistol shooter. She has very little weakness, which kind of sucks. So we kind of went back and forth a little bit, and then I made a joke about her not being able to hold her rifle up for an entire stage. And it was a joke because, like, the Russian, get stronger.
Right.
Can't hold rifle up, get stronger. So I was making that joke, and then that kind of set her off. So then she's like, all right, this stage right here, this is the only one that matters. And so I roasted her on that stage.
Well, it's the only one that mattered.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a really good one. Plus, there were the other stages that were in the bays were well thought out. There was one stage that was a rifle, pistol, shotgun option, and I think that one it was called Mirror Mirror. And this was actually a pretty cool stage because the it was at one of those 2 bay stages where you have to run outside of the bay and back in.
Okay.
You could start on either the right or the left side, and the right side was a mirror of the left side and vice versa. And a pretty damn good mirror.
Yeah.
I walked it a couple of times. Like, they did a pretty good job, because it's really hard, especially when you're not actually sitting in the same bay to make a mirror. And they did a really good job of that. But when I looked at it with Adam and Sazin and some other people, it was clear to me that the best way to shoot it was only pistol. So you could shoot targets with rifle. You could shoot targets with shotgun. You could, when you leave the bay, you cannot bring your shotgun or your rifle. So you'd have to stage.
So you could dump something and grab something?
You could have a rifle on one stage, and you could have a shotgun on one stage, but you couldn't have it on the other stage.
Oh, okay.
But you could hot holster your pistol and take that with you.
Interesting.
So at that point, it's like, why even do the transitions? Let's just make everything a pistol target.
Yeah, because it's going to be quicker to reload than to transition anything.
Right.
Yeah.
So in that particular stage, I was like, nah, it's kind of dumb.
How far were the targets farthest?
Farthest target was probably like a 40-yard target, but it was a IPSC target that had a hardcover on it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
good size.
Yeah. Well, hardcover, I mean, now it's like half a IPSC full-size target, right? So, but there was so that stage was fun, but it bummed me out that it made it a pistol-only stage, because there was already a pistol-only stage, and this is 3-gun, right? So
gotcha.
But that said, it was a really well-designed stage. All the stages in the bays, save for the casket/pallet stage, were really good stages. The jungle run was fun, but I was really bummed out at the end when I looked over there and like all the targets were all of a sudden out in the middle of the open.
Right.
It was like as if the forest just cleared, and it just really punctuated to me like how difficult it is for an RO to shoot a great match.
Yeah, sure.
So another reason we should be thankful for people that volunteer and respect their time.
Well, that's why I think it's cool when they have, the RO prize table, right? Do it separately. That makes a lot of sense too, because, you hear about times when the ROs shoot something and then they change the stage.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because there's bees and bears and whatever
like
else.
The Vortex shooter source match.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, so that was part of the day factor. Oh, and I have one gripe. There was a stage where we had our rifle, our pistol, and our shotgun inside a casket, which is cool. Because you're like, where did they get this casket? Does it smell? And turns out the casket belonged to one of the ROs. And I was like, okay, that's interesting.
Pre-bought his casket?
He's a planner.
Okay, that's good.
And then
it's coming eventually.
Exactly. And then he says, well, I've got 6 of them. And it's like, okay, all right.
Casket collection?
Okay.
Collector?
People are into their own stuff, whatever.
Yeah.
And then it turns out he runs a haunted house. Like, okay, you should have led with that.
Yeah. You think you might.
Yeah. Real nice dude, though. So he donated a lot of the like fences and some of the props, or lent them to the match. So it was really cool that they had a lot of stuff available. So the casket is propped up on 2 pallets, right?
Okay.
So that's one you had to shoot under the casket and shoot those clay targets. When you start, rifle is loaded, facing downrange in the casket. Shotgun, same.
So how's it facing downrange in the casket?
Casket's sideways.
Okay.
And then so it's kind of like the center point of 2 bays. So one bay goes.
Oh, okay. So they're pointing out.
Yeah, 90 degrees from each other.
Gotcha.
So one bay you shot the paper targets and the clay targets, or no, just the clay targets, and then you turn left, and then there's steel targets to shoot from like a VTAC barricade.
Okay.
So, and I nearly positive. Right. Yeah, they were loaded. Yeah, so guns are loaded facing downrange. The my only complaint, pistol was hot, and you had to holster it first before you shot your rifle.
What?
Yeah, pistol was hot, so you have to put it in your holster.
Uh-huh.
And then you pick up your rifle and you shoot those clays. Finish that dump, and then pick up your shotgun, run down to the pallet, and shoot those targets. So I'm not against hot holstering a pistol.
Mm-hmm.
I'm against compelling people to hot holster a pistol because there are a lot of people out there that should not hot holster a pistol.
Gotcha.
Also, what did that add to the stage?
I was going to say, why?
The idea is that it's Terminator 3, right? You dug up your casket with your cash, and then you're shooting stuff.
So you didn't have to balance the casket on your shoulder.
I think that's why it was elevated. The other part is where did the pallets come from? If this is a Terminator 3, just say the casket stage.
Yeah, I gotcha.
So like I'm all for like theme stages. I think theme stages are a lot of fun.
Sure.
But you kind of half themed it, and then I don't know. It's been a long time since I've seen Terminator 3, but I don't remember pallets. Maybe it's a bunker.
No, he pulled it out of like not a mausoleum, but like sort of the above ground, whatever you would call it.
I think that's a mausoleum, isn't it?
Yeah, I guess it is.
Yeah.
But it was like one of the small ones, right?
But then did they go run into pallets?
No, there weren't a lot of pallets. I think there was a minigun involved too, probably.
I know.
If you're gonna do it,
Missed opportunity. No, I'm totally kidding. So that probably, I mean, shitting on someone's hard work they put into that, but I gotta say that wasn't very Terminator 3 like.
So was the casket, was it open, or did you have to like
It was
flip
open.
it open? Oh,
It was open.
kind of cool if you had to fumble.
It would have been kind of cool if you had to flip it open. Yeah. But then there's like 2.5 minutes of you doing something on the clock that's not shooting.
Yeah,
you know?
that's true.
So yeah, that part was pretty cool. And then I already mentioned the getting inside the small pallet sort of thing was uncomfortable for a lot of people.
Mm-hmm. How about some funny things that happened?
I already mentioned the whipping up on Becky on stage 5, which was a lot of fun. She likes to point out that she won the entire match.
Oh,
But I would also like to say that we didn't shoot the same match, and we didn't say that the match counted. She said this stage only.
so technically you won. That's what you're saying?
It helps me sleep at night. Yeah, and then like I said, the RO match in the woods was completely different. I mean, it was just a complete eye-opener as far as, and I'm sure it was different from day 1 to day 3.
Oh, sure.
First squad to third squad, third squad to fifth squad.
After everything gets mowed down.
Oh my God! But it makes you appreciate the match directors that do mow a place to put their targets, because there's hiding a target behind a tree that's not going to get mowed down, and then there's hiding a target behind foliage that is only going to be there for the first 15 shooters.
Yeah, exactly.
And so those 15 shooters have a significant disadvantage. And like I said, it's a reminder of how difficult the RO match is to put together a good match. So,
All right.
yeah.
I think that's about it. Anything else? Vortex Tri-Gun. How do we call this thing? Nordic Vortex Tri-Gun, presented by the Minnesota 3-Gun Group.
One thing, Wade, I want to do is, and we haven't done this on the Match Recon podcast before, but I want to give a little love to all the sponsors at this match.
Okay.
There's, when I say community, there's a lot of 3-gun related companies in Minnesota as well, and they came out in a big way and supported this match. So Nordic Components and Vortex Optics, obviously the two title sponsors, but JP Rifles, Hyperfire Triggers, Hornady Gunfighter Targets, Luth AR, Thunder Beast Arms, TACOM, Obsidian Arms, X-Rail.
All right, buddy Mark.
Yep. I get a funny video of Mark shooting. You're going to love. Keltec, Arms and Arms, Lucas Outdoor Line, ShootSteel.com, Sequence Precision, Brownells, CMC Triggers, Ergo Grip, Sierra Bullets, Hawkeye Ordnance, Weber Tactical, ORM Tech, King of the Mountain, A&S Engineering, Excess Sights, Midwest Industries, Atlas Target Works, Starline, Smith & Wesson, Safariland, 3M, Peltor, and Arctic Gunfighter Targets. So those people, thank you very much. Big supporters of the Minnesota 3-gun match, which is it was cool to see.
What'd you get off the price table?
I took those gunfighter targets.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Yeah, which was cool that we were shooting the other
weeks
day.
ago. And I got to shoot your Glock.
Yeah.
Your Mod 1.
Yeah, Mod 1 firearms Glock. So the reason that I mentioned all those companies is they came out and supported the match in a big way, and we as 3-gunners should support the companies that support 3-gun and the shooting sports in general. So if you're going to make a purchase, think of them.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else? Does that wrap it up?
I think that's it, man.
All right, dude.
Yeah, so this has been another Match Recon episode with my good buddy Wade Jones.
Big good buddy.
Big good buddy. I almost said buddy instead of good, but my good buddy Wade Jones. Wade, thank you for doing this. And
yeah, anytime, man.
To everybody listening, show notes at 3gunshow.com, and thank you for listening.
See ya.
Hey, before you take off, check out the show notes at 3gunshow.com/episode 193 for links to things that we discussed in the podcast. You can also leave a comment there. Let me know what you thought of the podcast. And if you like the Match Recon podcast, sign up as a Patreon supporter for more podcasts just like this in real time. This podcast is brought to you by Breda USA, Italian shotguns that are the best in the world. And this is a shotgun tech tip from Team Breda. Hey, this is Dave Hartman for the 3-Gun Show, and we have Josh Tarrant of Team Breda, and he's here with a shotgun tech tip for you. Josh, what do you got?
Today we're going to talk about shotgun stance. Stance is incredibly important to be able to shoot a shotgun well, manage recoil. So first up, we're going to start at the feet. You want your feet wider than shoulder width apart. If you're right-handed, you want your left leg further forward. You want about 75% of your weight on your left leg, weight over the balls of your feet. You want to have a nice forward lean of your spine. Shoulder the shotgun, roll your shoulder forward to cradle. And that'll help you ride the recoil and get back on target faster.
That's another shotgun tech tip with Josh Tarrant from Team Breda. Thanks, Josh. Check out Breda's B12i 3-gun ready inertia-driven shotgun at BredaUSA.com. That's BREDA. This podcast is brought to you by Armalite, the original. Armalite rifles put the AR in AR-15. The rifles themselves come with 1-8 twist barrels, match barrels, 18-inch or 13.5-inch with a 15-inch or 12.5-inch handguard, Timney trigger, Luth AR stock, adjustable gas system, tunable comp, a patented tunable comp. This thing's ready to go right out of the box for a 3-gun with no additional modifications other than putting on a nice optic. I myself use a Vortex Viper PST 1-6 when I'm shooting TAC Ops or their Spitfire when I'm shooting limited. Check them out at armalite.com. Quick reminder that if you enjoyed this episode of the podcast, subscribe in iTunes, Google Play, Podcast Addict, or wherever you get your podcast content, so you will always get the very latest. Thank you so much for downloading, listening, and subscribing to the show. I'm Dave Hartman, and I'll see you on the range.
If you are finished, unload, show clear.